The Star. Following the Tower, arguably the most daunting card in the tarot, comes the Star. Where the Tower speaks of sudden, unexpected collapse, the Star tells us what happens when the dust settles and we, surrounded by the rubble of our former world, glimpse the sky for the first time. A star shines clearly in the firmament, guiding us, should we choose to follow it into a new chapter of life. The Star is about healing and hope, and its archetype is served by countless stories, whether it's the three wise men following the star to Bethlehem, or Peter Pan turning right at the North Star to reach Neverland. Our North Star is the vision of the future that drives us. It's the belief that the impossible is possible and that a higher power can show us the way there. Like all tarot cards, this archetype lives within us and begins to manifest externally when we give it space. At the beginning of this year, my entire old life fell apart, built upon the crises that we have collectively experienced and are still processing. When I realized that this was a change I couldn't avoid, and I had to literally move out of a tower, it was clear that I had to confront the archetype of the tower, painful as it was. But I also knew that the star would come next. This gave me strength through the fall of the tower. Where the tower took just a few days to paint itself through my fingers onto the display, I've been painting the star since spring. Many months with long breaks, but even when I wasn't sitting and painting on the tablet, I saw how the archetype manifested itself across my entire life, partially through me, partially from directions I had no control over whatsoever. My focus painted reality within and around me. Suddenly, stars were visible everywhere, in organization logos, in the people around me, in situations and art commissions that appeared out of the blue. And I decided to follow this star whenever it shone. The representation I chose is very dynamic compared to the calm, contemplative star found in the classic Rider-Waite tarot. My star is also a nod towards show business and those individuals who shine in the spotlight as a role model for many others. It became also increasingly clear that I wanted to turn the spotlight away from the decay and shine a light on those heroes that I've watched during their deeds in the shadows for many years. The lotus flower is a popular symbol, particularly in Buddhism. The lotus grows from the dark, muddy underworld of the pond to the clear surface. It connects the subconscious with the conscious. Initially, the lotus was going to be white, then I tried pink, but finally I chose blue. The blue lotus, with its mildly intoxicating effect, was a sacred plant in ancient Egypt, used by many oracles to support their visions. From this lotus arises a figure, still transparent, as if she just returned from the realm of the dead. Something interesting I noticed retrospectively is that I used this pose also in the card that I painted shortly before the tower. The Ten of Swords is about the disappearance of the last hope. For this card, I was inspired by Orpheus's journey to the underworld, hence it bears the subtitle Eurydice's Fall. It's the moment when Orpheus' efforts were all in vain and his beloved Eurydice, despite everything, loses the spark of life and passes into Hades. Seeing the same pose now in the card of hope and ascent, paired with a flower ascending from the underworld, naturally expands my internal mythology. The spiral of colors around the figure represents for me the celebration of our shared diversity and one's own uniqueness, but also the countless unexpected experiences through which the star manifests. That this appears as liquid color is probably due to my own creative work of painting. Moreover, water with its cleansing effect is an important aspect of the star archetype. The figure holds a jug from which she pours water. On the one hand, this is a reference to the zodiac sign of Aquarius, with which this card corresponds. On the other hand, water, especially in the tarot, also represents our emotions and interpersonal connections. Pouring from the jug forms a cycle, an emotional and creative anchor to the surface of the pond, the collective subconscious. The bracelet was created by accident at the end. It was actually a drop of paint. But on my journey through this star year, I also realized that it takes dedication and structure to reach for the star. Like a wedding ring or the ring of Saturn. Reaching for the star is a promise one makes to oneself, something to remember when reaching for the star, even when a small cloud passes by and obscures the light. One aspect of the star is that you can never grasp it. It is so close and yet so far. We see the stars on every cloudless night. Since the dawn of our time, we have used them to navigate both geographically and through our inner landscape. We wove stories around patterns we saw in the stars, following their morals and lessons. Despite all vision, the star is not about a goal to be achieved, but about the attitude it takes to get up again, stretch, and go one's own way. Just as the 3 wise men never reached the star, but found the miracle on the way. The star has manifested itself in my projects during the time of painting, and these projects are already bringing me new hope even before their release. 2023 was indeed a strenuous but truly magical year for me. I have relearned what it means to trust my fellow human beings, life, and myself. I have understood that it is the darkest nights in which the stars shine the brightest. I would like to pass on this magic to everyone who currently finds themselves surrounded by rubble, to all those whose last hope seems to have died. If you leave the rubble behind and follow your star with dedication and confidence, you suddenly find yourself in an entirely new world, and the people around you are wrapped in wonder at what has happened to you and how the impossible has suddenly become reality. I wish you and us all a wonderful 2024, full of hope, confidence, and courageous reaching. Do you know somebody you would like to wish this to? Please share this video. Happy New Year!